Hello, everybody. I'm going to be focusing on working hard for the right reasons. When I first came to Christ, I had a huge change in my lifestyle. Before, I used to be super lazy, not really working towards anything, and yeah, I just had no sense of purpose. I wasn't working hard. But then once I came to Christ, everything changed. I found purpose, and I started. Sorry, excuse the refrigerator. I found purpose, and I started working hard towards goals, like making music or doing YouTube or whatever it may be. Um, but at the time, and I realize this now, but at the time I wasn't working hard for the right reasons. What propelled me into following Christ was a recent heartbreak, or at the time, recent heartbreak. So I realize now that a lot of my motivation was by driven from me trying to prove myself, prove that I wasn't a failure and that I could actually change. Um, yeah, so a lot of it was just me I wouldn't call that revenge, but do you understand, driven from those, trying to get back at I'm gonna prove you wrong, um, and that's not right. And I kind of recently fell into that temptation again of wanting to work hard for these wrong reasons, prove myself. Just some recent news I found out. It's okay, I'm gonna work hard, make it big in whatever it is, so I can be successful, and then I'm gonna prove to them. But I had that thought, and I was okay, I need to check myself. Um, because our heart is deceitful. I mean, we see that in Jeremiah 17, verse 9. Our heart is deceitful above all things, so we need to constantly be checking ourselves, making sure we're working for the right reasons. Because we should be doing everything for God, unto the Lord. I mean, I think Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, work heartily, uh, not unto men, but for the Lord. So yeah, we need to be making sure that we're doing everything for God, that you're working hard for God. And this is really hard. I find myself struggling with this. For example, I make music, and I mean, I could either make fun music or I can make worship music. But when you're asking yourself, or when you're having that thought, okay, I'm doing this for God, you're naturally going to ask yourself, what do I think God wants? What does He want from me? He wants me to glorify Him, right? Everything we should do should be to glorify God. And then that completely changes the genre of music from house to, or I'm using house as an example, but to worship music or worship lyrics. Mainly the lyrics change. Um, but then still a piece. I feel we're all pretty selfish, so I feel a piece of me, or a piece of me is still okay, I'm doing this for my own benefit. And I think Jesus understands that, because in the second verse of Colossians 3:23, the second half of that verse says, God will take note of these things, and He will store up treasures for you in heaven. So He's kind of playing to our own selfish desires. He understands that. He's okay, you do this now, but you're gonna have so much greater reward in the future if you just do everything for God. Um, that's a really cool thing, but I still don't think that should be the reason why we do these things. We should do everything out of love for God, and out of, just wanting to give Him what He deserves. God deserves all of our praise, all of our glory, all of our thought. The number one commandment is to love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, all your body. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasize that, because it's something that recently came up in my life. Again, just make sure you're working hard for the right reasons. Because if you think about it, let's say you're working hard to be successful in, I'll say music, for example, because that's my passion. Let's say you make it successful in whatever area it is. Okay, now what? If that's your goal, then you're gonna achieve that, and then what? You're gonna keep searching for more things. But you can always do God's will. You can always, advance the kingdom, you can always please God. And it's something that we'll never be perfect at, because that's the goal, is perfection, and we're not going to get there till we're with God. But yeah, and it's the only thing that really will like satisfy you, will satisfy your soul. We all have this void in us. We try to fill it with so many different things, like, I don't know, drugs, sex, social media. Those are the kind of the extremes. Food, success, and it's never enough. Money is never enough. We always want more. We eat and we're not full. That's from, I think, Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is a really good book to read. It's the main topic is about like working hard, and it's like pride and working hard, toil and vanity, and how most of our hard work is vanity. Most of it's prideful, and his emphasis in writing that book is we can work extremely hard for the things of this world, but it's going to be gone. It's not going to last. Like, we're going to die. The earth is going to die. And also he went as far as to say is nothing is new. Everything has been done. All we're doing is doing different variations of the same things over and over again. Anyway, I thought that was a really interesting book. But again, just make sure you're working hard for the right reasons. I love all of you. Please have an amazing day.